A very up and down day in Bryce Young's debut. They finished with just 10 points. It looked like there were some flashes from Bryce. I mean, the touchdown pass to Hayden Hurst I thought was impressive, but clearly 10 points isn't what you're looking for in the NFL. Overall, what were your thoughts on Bryce's first start?
Yeah, well, I think that what stands out, unfortunately, when you're a quarterback, this is what happens. It's not just how good you are at your best; it's how low you get and the number of mistakes you get or the types of mistakes you get at your worst. And throwing two interceptions that were very similar type mistakes. That's the problem. Now, it looked like on the first one, he's thrown across the middle. And I believe that one was to Hayden Hurst. He was attempting to get to Hayden Hurst. And you could see that he's reading from right to left. And sometimes when that happens and you're throwing the ball late over the middle with a read that starts from the opposite side of the field, you're going to miss sometimes that safety that's playing on the backside hash. And you're not going to see that guy. And I think that's clearly what happened on that play. But you just have to beware. Whenever you're throwing a crossing route, you can't just watch a trailing defender. You have to see what's in front of the wide receiver. Because number one, you throw him into a headache. Number two, it's even worse, throwing the ball to the other team. And that's what happened on the play. And then the second one to Terrace Marshall, it looked like he was reading from that side of the field. So his eyes should have scanned across Jesse Bates, who was sitting in almost the identical position that he was in when the pass was intercepted that was intended for Hayden Hurst. He's sitting at the left-hand side for Bryce Young as his eyes are scanning from the left. So you have to be able to see that before you make that throw. And, other than that, it seemed like he was getting rid of the ball the way that he wanted to. Protection was decent, and he was making some good throws, throwing the ball away when he needed to, seemed to be making some smart decisions, but you just can't afford to do that. And he'd be the first one to tell you it's not just the mistakes you made that you need to move on from, but making sure that you don't repeat the same mistake.
Sounds like rookie quarterback evaluation is going to be the name of your game here for the first little bit of the season. Your week 2 call, Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts taking on CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. I know it's early in the week. I'm sure you haven't had time to dive into all the particulars, but when you get into the tape of these first 2 games for these rookie quarterbacks, what are you looking for from those 2 performances as you get ready to call this second start for these 2 young guys?
Yeah, it's really about decision-making and execution. What does their footwork look like? And now how calm they are in the pocket is oftentimes dictated by how good the protection is, quite frankly. But as they work through their progressions, are they going to work through the progression, keep their eyes downfield and try and still make a completion, or are they going to panic and just run? So I think that's the big thing with these 2 quarterbacks. Now, it seems like Anthony Richardson probably had the best day of the rookie quarterbacks, 24 for 37, I believe, in the game against Jacksonville.
Yep.
Did take off and run a few times, had to leave the game, just taking some huge hits. I mean, he's 6'4", approximately 250 pounds. We know about all the measurables, but you have to learn to play the position. You have to learn how to throw from the pocket, because quarterbacks ultimately are ranked by how they play in money downs, in red zone, and in 2 minutes. So in those situations in particular, how are those guys going to play? I couldn't be more excited. I mean, the first 2 weeks of the season, we get the number 1 overall pick, the number 2 overall pick, and the number 4 overall pick. It's really exciting.